Hello, everybody, and happy Friday. Thank you to everybody that's gone on and completed your activities and assignments throughout the week. If you've not had an opportunity, please go on to Google Classroom and try to get those done as soon as possible. Yesterday, you watched a video that outlined the structure or the organization of our federal court system. Just do a quick little review of what that video talked about, and hopefully you got these answers correct on the assignment. The three levels are district, the Court of Appeals, and the Supreme Court. At the district level, there are 94 courts throughout our country. Sometimes it's referred to as trial court. And in most cases, the district or trial courts have original jurisdiction. And that means that they have the right to hear a case first. So most cases that do go to federal court, they begin at the district level. At the next level is the appellate or the circuit court. And there are 13 of these across our country. When a case goes to a circuit court, it is heard by a panel of 3 judges. And there's 3 things that they can do when making a decision. They can affirm it, which means that they uphold the decision of the district court. They can reverse it, or they can also remand it, which means they send it back down to the district level for a retrial. And then at the very top of the federal court system is our Supreme Court, which we'll get into more next week. We'll talk about the process that they use to decide what cases they do hear. A few weeks ago, we talked about federalism, and a word that came up was concurrent powers. And I said concurrent powers were those that were shared by both the federal and the state government. And the example I gave you was the ability to tax. Another example of concurrent powers is the right to establish courts. So in the United States, we have a federal court system, and we also have state courts. The vast majority of cases that take place in our country take place at the state level, and the stats like over 95%. And the structure at the state level is very, very similar in most cases to that of the federal government, where most states have a district or a trial, they have some type of court of appeals, and then they also have a state Supreme Court. And the size of the state Supreme Court in most cases is different than that of the Supreme Court. So the question today that I want to start off talking about is, what types of cases does the federal court have jurisdiction in? Again, when you look at all the cases that take place in our country, only a small percentage are actually going to the federal court system. So the 8 types of cases that our federal court has jurisdiction in, I just want to take a few minutes and review some of them. The first one, if it's an issue with the Constitution. For an example, if it deals with freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press, maybe it deals with the 14th Amendment, the Equal Protection Clause, that would go to federal court. Another example is if somebody violates a federal law. So if somebody refuses to pay their federal income taxes, that case would then go to federal court. And another example is if there's a conflict between 2 or more states, again, federal court. Some examples with that have taken place throughout American history. Sometimes it's boundary disputes between states. Another example is if there's a debate over who has rights to certain natural resources. And then the last one that I want to talk about on this slide is if there is an issue between 2 people or 2 companies from different states, again, it would go to federal court. And then here's the last 4. I'm not going to go over any of these. You can just take a minute here and read over them. So for the rest of the lesson today, what I want you to do is to watch a quick 2-minute video that is going to discuss 2 types of cases. The first one is criminal and another one is civil. And like you've been doing the last couple lessons, after you get done watching the video, you need to click on the classwork tab and click on the document titled Learning Log April 3rd and answer the questions that go along with it. Like always, if you have any concerns, if you're confused about something, please email me and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great weekend and I'll talk to you on Monday. Bye.